Thank you, Tomislav. Thank you very much for call to participate in this webinar. I'm glad that I can represent Zero Waste today and be with you. So we can start with this topic. Please change the first slide. Okay. We will talk about marine ecosystems. What are they and why are they important for life on Earth? Marine ecosystems are complex communities of living organisms and their environment in seas and oceans, and they play a crucial role in sustaining life on Earth. Firstly and foremost, they produce a large portion of oxygen we breathe. At the same time, oceans absorb large amount of carbon dioxide and help regulate the planet's global climate and temperature. On the other hand, seas and oceans are an important source of food for billions of people around the world, providing fish, shellfish, and other seafood. They are also home for enormous number of plants and animal species, thereby contributing to preservation of biodiversity and natural balance of life on Earth. Because of their importance, the protection of marine ecosystems is one of the most significant challenges facing modern society. Next slide, please. When we talk about marine pollution, we can start with some historical facts. The problem of marine pollution caused by waste was first recognized by scientific communities in the 1970s, when the first relevant studies were published on consequences of plastic pollution in the ocean and its impact on marine ecosystems. Another important historical milestone occurred in 1997, when Captain Charles Moore discovered a massive accumulation of plastic waste in Pacific Ocean, well known as Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Despite existing scientific knowledge at the time, this visual evidence of the scale of the problem shocked the global public. Since 2000, the European Union has been implementing the Water Framework Directive, which recognizes water as a shared heritage of humanity rather than a commercial product. The directive requires member states to bring all surface water to a good ecological status by 2027. Next slide, please. In 2013, the Dutch initiative, the Ocean Cleanup, was launched with the goal of removing plastic from the oceans. Shortly after that, Professor Thompson and his team conducted research that highlighted the problem of microplastic and accumulation of plastic waste in marine sediments. Also, the broadcast of the documentary series Blue Planet 2, narrated by David Attenborough, sparked a global wave of awareness about plastic pollution. Next slide, please. When we talk about pollution, marine pollution is one of the greatest environmental challenges of our modern world. Every year, large amounts of waste and harmful substances are released into seas and oceans, threatening marine plants, animals, and whole ecosystems. So we can firstly talk about chemical pollutions, and the most dangerous one are industrial waste. Heavy metals such as mercury, lead, cadmium, they enter the sea mainly from industrial facilities, mining operations, and wastewater discharges. These substances are highly toxic and can cause damage to the nervous system, organs, and reproductive functions of marine organisms. Second one is agricultural chemicals, for example, pesticides. Agricultural chemicals and chemical pollution are a significant source of marine contamination. As I said, pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers, and other chemicals from agriculture or production industry and wastewater reach rivers and seas through surface runoff and waterways. Next one is maritime transport. Ships can pollute the sea through the discharge of fuel, oil, and waste. Spills are a particular concern because they can cause major environmental disaster and long-term damage to marine habitats. Oil pollution results from tanker accidents, pipeline leaks, activities offshore oil platforms. Oil forms a layer on the water surface, reducing oxygen exchange and harming seabirds, fish, and other marine organisms. Spilled hydrocarbons degrade water quality and cause long-lasting damage to natural habitats. Despite stricter regulations, such forms of pollution remain common and practically destructive. Another one is wastewater, untreated or insufficiently treated wastewater from household and urban areas contains bacteria, chemical and other pollutions. Its discharge into the sea leads to the degradation of water quality and poses risk to both as well as human and also animal health. Consequences of chemical pollutions. One of the main consequences is poisoning of marine organisms, which can result in disease, reduced reproduction, or death. Next slide, please. There is another type of pollution that we don't talk a lot of. It is noise pollution. Maritime traffic, oil exploitation, and other sources of noise and vibration create underwater noise pollution that seriously disrupt marine life, especially dolphins, whales. These animals actually depends on echolocation to find their way and communicate. Noise pollution can disrupt their behavior, cause strandings, and make reproduction more difficult. Next slide, please. Here we'll talk about plastic pollution and textile pollution. Plastic pollution caused by plastic waste is one of the most widespread forms of marine pollution. We can often see plastic bags, bottles, fishing nets, microplastic threaten numerous marine species, which may ingest them or become trapped in them. Plastic pollution can cause injuries, starvation, and death in marine animals. In addition, microplastic can enter the food chain and potentially affect both marine life and human health. Textile pollution caused with textile waste is a growing source of marine pollution. Synthetic fabrics release microfibers during washing, which enter rivers and oceans and contribute to microplastic pollution, threatening marine organisms and ecosystems. Next slide. Now we'll focus on plastic waste. It's actually an ecological disaster. Some research has shown that every year approximately 8 million tons of plastics end up into the ocean, creating enormous accumulation zone of waste, such a famous and well-known, I mentioned already, Great Pacific Garbage Patch. The plastic remains is a serious threat to marine life, as animal can eat them, become trapped on them, or even that can lead to death. Next slide. Only about 20% of plastic waste in the oceans originate from maritime and coastal activities and industries, such as shipping, fishing, or tourism. The remaining 80% comes from the land-based sources and it's carried into the sea by rivers. All of riverborne waste generated by households and industries up to 75 consist of various types of plastics. Next slide. Plastic waste has several consequences for marine life. Fish, seabirds, sea animals like whales and dolphins often eat plastic and get stuck to it. One of the most well-known examples involves sea turtle species, which frequently mistake plastic bags for jellyfish and eat them because one of their natural food sources is actually jellyfish. After eating plastics, it can block the digestive system, which can cause serious health problem or even death. Next slide. Plastic pollution is one of the most serious environmental challenge of our time. Practically serious issue is microplastic pollution. Microplastics are created through breakdown of larger plastics items or manufactured directly for use in cosmetics and industrial products. Due to their small size, they are easily to enter the food chain because many of marine organisms mistakenly eat them. We can say that microplastics are all synthetic polymers particles that are non-degradable, that are smaller than 5 millimeters. They come from industrial discharges, consumer products, and breakdown of larger plastics. Next slide. European ranks as a second in world in plastic production, releasing annually between 150,000 to 500 tons of microplastics and macroplastics, and between 70,000 and 130,000 tons of microplastics into the sea. This is researchers from Worldwide Fund for Nature. The amount of microplastics in the Mediterranean is almost 4 times higher than the amount of microplastics in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Next slide. I already mentioned the Marine Strategy Framework Directive of European Union in cooperation with the Barcelona Convention has established as a comprehensive policy framework aimed to achieving a good environmental status of marine waters with a special focus the growing problem of microplastic pollution. Both of the documents emphasize the necessity of reducing marine pollution and ensuring sustainable management of marine and coastal ecosystems. These two documents identify marine litter, especially microplastic, as a significant threat to marine environmental quality and requires member states to implement systematic monitoring of its quantity, quality, and composition. Next slide. When we talk about chemical analysis of microplastic, we have several of them that are the most, I can say, popular. Polyethylene, the most commonly used plastic for bags, packing, bottles, and similar. Polypropylene, used for food packing, pipes, parts, automotive. Polyester, used for single-use packing, plastic cups, plates, and etc. Ethylene vinyl acetate, an elastic material used for footwear, sports, clothes, and polyacrylonitrile, used in textile industry, synthetic fibers, as well as in filters and protective equipment. Next slide, please. Microplastic also have different colors. The most common are blue, black, red, orange, white, yellow. This can represent an important characteristic to consider when assessing the toxicity of microplastics. When it's word about shape, microplastics are divided into several types: spherical, irregular, fibrous. In addition, they can also appear in a form of fragments. Since microplastic particles range size from 1 micrometers to 5 millimeters, due to the extremely small size, they easily interact with all parts of freshwater ecosystems, such as water, sediment, microorganisms, plants, and animals. Freshwater organisms can easily ingest them and retain them in their bodies. Microplastics often carry various chemical on their surface. They may include additive added during the plastic production, some different types of stabilizers, plasticizers, as well as environmental pollution such as heavy metals, pesticides, and so on. Certain types of microplastics, as PVC and PE, have ability to bind heavy metals such as cadmium, lead, and copper, which means that microplastics actually can act as a carrier of pollutions in aquatic ecosystems. Next slide, please. What are the sources of microplastics in water? First of all, breakdown of larger fragments. Second, direct discharge of wastewater into water courses. And accidental release of industrial raw materials. The presence of microplastic in water indicates that consumer-origin plastic waste is one of the main causes of marine pollution. Next slide. Synthetic microfibers released into water during the washing and synthetic textile in washing machine represent secondary microplastics, and some research shows that 100 microfibers are present per liter of wastewater from laundry washing. A washing machine load about 5 to 6 kilograms release around 60,000 to 70,000 synthetic fibers. The number of realized microfibers depend on many factors such as type of clothing, condition on a washing machine, type of detergent or fabric softener. Next slide. And we also have a critical issue of textile waste. The global textile industry generates an estimated 92 million tons of textile waste annually, with projections of up to 134 million tons by 2030 with the current production and consumption. The textile industry has a significant negative environmental impact because it requires large amount of water and energy and often cause water pollution. Natural fibers such as cotton and wool are sometimes treated with chemical agents which often contain persistent organic pollution such as PFAS. At the same time, the increasing use of synthetic fibers are produced from oil and plastics such as polyester, nylon, acrylic in the fashion and textile industry creates additional problems due to the nature of these materials. They tend to release chemical additives and microplastics during use, recycling, and final disposal, while a large portion of synthetic textile waste cannot be safely biodegraded. Next slide, please. According to a report of Changing Market Foundation, synthetic fibers derived from fossil fuels and have become the dominant choice for both the fashion and wider textile industries. Unfortunately, they account for over 2/3, about 69% of textile production, and there are projections that it will be raised up to 73% by 2030. Their 2021 investigation into more shows that into more of 4,000 clothing items by global fashion brands revealed that 67% contained synthetic materials. The fashion industry also generates 8.3 million tons of plastic waste in 2019. It has been found that these materials release about 500,000 tons of plastic microfibers annually into ecosystems and food chain, especially in marine environment, while microplastic from nylon polyester are linked to respiratory diseases. Next slide, please. Now we can talk about environmental consequences. First of all is loss of biodiversity. Actually, biodiversity refers to the variety of plants and animal species within an ecosystem. When species disappear or their population decline, the natural balance and ecosystem resilience to change and disrupted. Habitat destruction, pollution, coastal construction, oil spills, climate change led to the destruction of important habitats such as coral reefs, mangroves, and seagrass meadows. Without sustainable habitats, many species cannot survive or reproduce. Decline in fish population, every changes in water quality, pollution, or habitat loss affect fish production. Reduced number of fish disturbs food chain and negatively impact fisheries and economy in many countries. Species extinction, when your organisms are unable to adapt change in their environment, may occur. The loss of the species often affect the survival of other interconnected species. Next slide, please. Degradation of marine ecosystem has serious consequences not only for marine life but also for humans, especially ones who depend on marine resources. Contamination of the food chain with the microplastic and heavy metals poses a threat to human health and through the consumption and contaminated seafood. Actually, numerous studies have documented the harmful effects of microplastic on aquatic life, but also anthropogenic activities are the main sources of pressure and negative impact on the marine and coastal environment. As I said at the beginning, waste, oil spills, chemical pollution, wastewater, noise, and similar. Economic activities such as tourism, maritime transport, fisheries, aquaculture, and agriculture are also contribute significantly. Most pressure and impact are linked to the tourism. Pressures do not act individually, but are combined, leading to cumulative and synergetic effects. Next slide. This also has impact on humans. Problems affecting marine ecosystems do not only impact plants and animal life, but also it has significant consequences for people because millions of people around the world depend on seas and oceans as a source of food, employment, and income. Reduced food from the sea, declining fish population, and the degradation of marine habitats leads to lower catches of fish and other marine organisms. This can threaten food supply, especially in countries where fish is an important part of population's diet. Economic losses in fisheries is another one. Fisheries are an important economic sector in many countries. When fish stocks decline due to pollution or climate change, fishermen earn less income and entire local communities can be economically affected. Third one is a problem in tourism because polluted beaches, damaged coral reefs, and reduced attractiveness of coastal areas negatively affect tourism. Fewer tourists also mean lower incomes for hotels, restaurants, and other tourism-related businesses. Health risks, I already mentioned some of them, but marine organisms can accumulate harmful chemicals, heavy metals, and microplastics. Consuming contaminated fish and seafood can pose health risks to humans. In addition, polluted water may increase the spread of various diseases. Because of this, protection marine ecosystems is not important just for protecting nature or marine ecosystems, but also for human health, economy, and overall quality of life. Next slide. Why is all of this important? Everything that is part of our environment directly or indirectly affect on us. It's estimated that humans ingest up to 5 grams of plastic per week. It's like one credit card through drinking water, food, even inhalation. Microplastic contaminate the entire food chain, including fish and other seafood intended for human consumption. When we talk about our daily exposure to microplastic, we can talk about inhalation. Microplastics are present in the air, especially indoor environments where they accumulate through dust, textiles, ventilation systems, household dusts, synthetic carpets, furniture, and hidden sources of exposure. Skin contact, creams, toothpaste, shower gels that contain microbeads, as well as synthetic clothing, polyester, acrylic, and can be sources of microplastic exposure. Food and drinks. The largest amount of microplastics enter the body through seafood. Bottled water, especially in plastic bottle, contains significant amount of microplastics. Salt, tea, tea in a plastic bags, and even fruit and vegetables that absorb microplastic from contaminated soil and water further increase exposure. Next slide. Now, when we talked about challenges that marine ecosystem is facing, we can talk about solutions and how to reduce marine pollution. Understanding these challenges and developing effective solution is essential for protecting our marine environment and ensuring a sustainable future for generations to come. So how we can reduce marine pollution, what we can do. Successful ocean protection required cooperation between government, organizations, businesses, industry, citizens. We can start with reducing plastic use. One of the most important steps is reducing the use of single-use plastics, such as plastic bags, bottles, cutlery. Using reusable products can significantly reduce the amount of waste that ends up in rivers and then the seas and oceans. Second step could be recycling. Proper waste separation and recycling help reduce the amount of plastic and other materials entering the environment. Developing efficient waste management systems is an important step in protection the oceans. Also, we should always consider wastewater treatment before being discharged into rivers and sea. Wastewater should always undergo treatment processes. This because this process removes harmful chemicals, bacteria, and pollutants that can threaten the marine organisms. Establishing marine protected area because in these zones activities that could harm the environment such as overfishing or uncontrolled constructions are strictly forbidden. International agreements, since seas and oceans are interconnected, their protection requires cooperation between countries. International agreements can join policies, help reducing pollution, overexploitation of resources, and climate change. When we talk about technological innovation, we know that numerous initiatives are aimed to reduce maritime pollution, development of biodegradable materials, implementation of barriers to collect floating waste, and advancement in wastewater filtration system, renewable energy application in maritime sector, solar, wind, hydrogen. Also offer more sustainable alternatives to fossil fuels. Public education and rising awareness may be the most important when we speak about these solutions, because about the importance of ocean conservation is essential for long-term solutions. Education in early age in schools, media campaigns, environmental actions that encourage everyone to be more responsible and have more responsible behavior. By implementing these measures, it is possible to reduce human impact on the marine ecosystems and ensure their preservation for future generations. Next slide. What is the role of citizens? What we can do, what communities can do? Actually, everyone can contribute to the preservation of the ocean and through simple actions, reducing plastic consumption, choosing eco-friendly products, participating in local beach cleanup initiatives, supporting businesses committed to sustainable practices, as well as the rising awareness. Rising awareness and education of future generations about marine conservation is also crucial for ensuring a more respectful future for our planet. Next slide. And what is also good to have in mind, beach and marine cleanup activities. In many countries, also in Montenegro, cleanup campaigns are organized for beaches, coastlines, underwater areas, rivers, and similar. These activities involve not just volunteers, but schools, non-governmental organizations, businesses, local communities. And in addition to removing waste, such initiatives raise public awareness about pollutions and encourage more responsible behavior from participants. These examples show that marine protection is possible through international cooperation, education, and active citizen participation. Next slide. In 2026, protection against plastic is not longer only an ecological issue or marine ecosystem issue. It is a matter of direct health protection. The basic principle is the elimination of plastic from all processes involving heat and food consumption. The greatest risk occurs when the plastic packing is exposed to high temperatures, as toxins most easily released. The toxins most easily released and transferred into food and water. For this reason, a shift toward glass, ceramic, and stainless steel as a standard alternative is necessary. Since microplastics have become widespread in the environment, it is crucial to reduce their presence in our immediate surroundings by choosing natural materials as cotton, linen, wool when we wear clothes, or wood for everything we can make of wood, but not from plastics. The overall approach to protection is based on a conscious return to natural materials and sustainable practices. And I think it's the last slide. Maybe yes, thank you.